hello, my Super Scorpio, and welcome to your monthly energy reading for May. This is just a general reading, so please do take what resonates and toss the rest. Also, check out your other signs in case they resonate with you more. However, if you haven't checked out your love reading or your moon reading, please do check that out as well. Otherwise, we will go ahead and get in here and read your monthly reading for May. If you do like this, however, please do like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell. I would greatly appreciate it. It would mean the world to me, and it does help it get to our other amazing Scorpios as well. Thank you so much for that, and let's get started. We're doing this as a past, present, future read already, so let's get to it. All right. So, it does look like here in the past, you've had a little bit of some family difficulties. I feel like you have the 10 of Cups in reverse. So I feel like maybe you've been having some family issues, okay? So for some of you, I feel like maybe you've gone through some things with, a split in your family, possibly divorce situations, possibly a breakup, where you've moved away from your family, something where there's been kind of a separation in family. But it's just not been kind of the best time for family relationships, friends, family, that kind of thing. So maybe you've gone through some things like that. Maybe you need some family healing. Or maybe it's just that you've had some friction. For some of you, it's not that major. I feel like for a lot of you it is. I hate to say that, but I'm getting the vibe that for a lot of you it is kind of a major thing. It's more like, a long-term relationship split. Maybe one you have kids with, maybe one you've been in with for a long time that you guys have had, your families are kind of intertwined, you've been together, even if you're not married, you've been together for a long time, that kind of thing, or whatever. But for some of you, it's not that big a deal. Like I said, there's some of you that I can see that it's just like, a little bit of friction in the family. Maybe you're arguing with siblings or this or that, and over something petty, and it's just a matter of needing to smooth it over, and that's something that's kind of just been a real recent thing for you. But I see that you have Queen of Swords energy coming as well, or has come here recently. So I feel like you're taking the steps to handle all of that, and for some of you, I kind of feel like this is you kind of getting your Stella got her groove back kind of feel. But for some of you, I feel like it's kind of like you're getting your life almost back in order. Okay, so maybe you were in a relationship that wasn't very appealing or wasn't healthy. Could have been a very toxic relationship, or it could have been a relationship that was just not fulfilling. It just wasn't good for you. A marriage like that, something like that you just really needed to get out of it. And so while turning it upside down is not a pleasant thing, of course, it's a very trying, traumatic thing, no matter how much it needs to be done. It's kind of like a tower moment for a lot of people. It has to come down, but it doesn't make it any easier. So for a lot of you, even though that needed to happen, I feel like it wasn't great, but I feel like for you, the outcome has been that you have been able to get some of your stability back, some of your strength back, some of your power back. You may have been in a very controlling relationship. You may have been in a narcissistic relationship, a toxic relationship, an abusive relationship. Some of those things I feel like, and it may not even been that kind of dramatic, or it may have been that traumatic and you don't realize it, okay? You're just now coming out just recently, and you're feeling this strength, this newfound kind of strength, stability, kind of like, I feel better about things now, or I feel like I have a little bit more control over things or whatever, but you don't really realize to what extent, right? You don't even really realize how bad things really were because you were too close to the situation. I think as things go along, in hindsight, you may start to see just how much you were under control, under pressure, under stress, under, somebody's toxic kind of, energy, and just not good. So, okay, King of Wands. This King of Wands energy for me, I feel like this is someone coming into you, okay? I feel like this is someone who's recently come into you, fiery hot, strong, matching your energy, right? Okay, super hot, powerful, very much full of life, love, emotion, opportunities, all these things. Very good match for your spirit, your vibration, your queenly energy. You're strong, headstrong, powerful. But they're able to wield their power more, right? Because you, I do feel, have been under a situation for a long time. And I feel like it's affected you way more than you even realize for some people. But the thing about this is, for some of you, I almost feel like this person is kind of the reason that you're, they're kind of the catalyst. Maybe they came for some of you and pointed out to you, hey, this is, you're in a very toxic situation. You're in a bad environment. You're in a, you deserve so much better. And so maybe you left your relationship for this person. And so, because they came in so fiery hot. For others, this person is an after effect. Okay. So after you kind of got out, they're coming in. So I'm kind of in a quandary here for some of you, because I'm getting mixed vibes here, whether this is the person is the cause of your marital relationship / family discourse or an after effect. And it could be both. It could be, for some of you, it's one, and for some of you, it's the other. I guess that's either here nor there. But I definitely see that person is coming in, or has already come in, very much so. And is a very good match for your energies, fiery hot. But they are more able to flex theirs. They're more able to be open with their strength, their dominance, than you are. Because again, I do feel like you are in a position that even you to this day have yet to realize kind of how maybe little control over your own life you had, sadly. But let's see going forward. Okay, Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So again, I feel like this person, this is your energy, and this person is helping you. You've got that queenly energy. Okay, it's there. This person is helping you come out of your shell, right? This King of Wands is helping you come out of your shell. They're full of opportunities. They're full of fiery hot love, energy, opportunities, connections. They're everything that you could possibly want. But part of breaking with a family, whether it's a long-term boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, I don't care if it's just a roommate situation. I don't care if it's a situationship that you're in long-term, whatever it may be. There's always a financial repercussion to that, right? So I feel like this situation this is your queenly energy, but it's affected your pentacles. It's affected your finances, okay? So I feel like here, this King of Wands is kind of able to assist you with that, because at this particular moment, while you have that Queen of Swords energy that it took to get you out of this relationship, you needed to kind of flex that sword's power to even believe in yourself to get out. But you had to kind of sacrifice some luxuries, some finances, some things like that to do that. So it's kind of put you in a kind of an upside down position a little bit with your, with where you were. But I do feel like you have this Ace of Cups energy. Okay. I feel like this is your energy for sure. So you do have this Ace of Cups energy, and I do feel like that is directly driven by this King of Wands. Okay. So I feel like this person is absolutely allowing you to, they're helping you to meet people. They're helping you to get your kind of mojo back, as far as starting to feel like yourself again, starting to be able to get out there again, kind of network some, introducing you to job opportunities should you have issues with that, other people that are in the know, connections, not what you know, but who you know, networking, all this kind of thing. And you are really, really putting out that Ace of Cups energy, okay? And for you, this is bizarre to you, I feel like, because I feel like so many of you are like, wow, I didn't even know I had this energy, right? like, I've been in this relationship with such and such, and you know, long or short, it doesn't matter, but you weren't able to really flex that energy. You were kind of, you know, really withdrawn to some extent. Again, I don't think you realized how much so, because they kind of had you in a mental kind of control, like almost in a mental web where, you know, they were kind of almost a narcissistic situation, a toxic situation, was like, you know, they didn't want you to go out and show the world that you have all this charisma and things like that, because they would be afraid to lose you, right? So they didn't really want you out and about, and they didn't really want anybody to see how great you were, and they wanted to kind of keep you, you know, at your lowest. But now you're starting to feel better. And when you feel good, you look good, and all these different things, kind of like when you look good, you feel good, you know, vice versa, all these things. So all of it's starting to come together, and your cup is literally running over, right? So let's see what else we got here. Okay, so we've got the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And again, I feel like this is something where, you know, financially, I just feel like financially this person is going to continue to really try to wreck you, okay? Especially if this is a divorce situation, okay? I feel like between like losing things in divorces, moving, you know, maybe if there's children involved, costs with that, attorney's fees, what have you, if it's that kind of situation, or just the cost of anytime you split, you have to move, buy new things sometimes, this and that, you know, those kinds of things. I really feel like they are intentionally trying to really take you back, okay? Backwards rather, not take you back, but backwards. And I feel like that is part of it though. They want to kind of prove to you that they were right, that you couldn't make it without them, you're worse off without them, all these things, right? Because they want you to come crawling back. That's like going to show them that they won and they were right and all this stuff, right? That's kind of what they want, because they are not happy at all that you are out there with that Ace of Cups energy, and that you might actually succeed, and that this King of Wands is, you know, really out there with you, kind of, you know, living the good life kind of thing. So I do feel like they are going to take shots at your, you know, your finances. And we have the Five of Cups in reverse though. So I feel like for you, you are kind of just moving on. I feel like this is where you're like, I don't care. Financially, I'm over it. I don't care. You can take everything I have. Financially, I do not care, because what I have intact is my sanity. I have my, you know, I have what little bit of peace of mind I have. I have my sanity, my calm. I have my family, friends, you know, things like that left. What I do have left intact, and I'm not going to let you take any more of that. So I'm going to move forward, okay? And I'm not going to let you continue to do anything else. You can take money because money's replaceable, right? But you're not going to take my mental health. You're not going to take, I'm not giving you one more minute of my stress. I'm not giving you one more minute of my concern. I'm not even going to, you know, look back and think about you. I'm done, right? So I feel like this is really, really, really a key point of growth for you, because I do feel like a lot of you stayed in that relationship or that situation for a very long time. A lot to do with the fact that you were scared you couldn't make it financially without them. But you kind of hit a point now, and especially with the help of this King of Wands and the way that you've been able to kind of exude now that Ace of Cups energy. So you know you can make connections. You know you can do so much for yourself. You know you can make friends and opportunities, and you can create the life you want. So you know you can make more money down the road, right? But you can't ever like rebuild your mental health if it's completely shattered and gutted again, right? So you're like, forget it. It's not worth it. So I think that's a huge, huge moment of growth for you, okay? So let's see going into the future what we're doing here. So we've got the Seven of Swords in reverse. And, you know, for that, I just feel like this is you. You're just moving on. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not like you're carrying a heavy burden off. It's not like you're struggling. It's not like you're like, you know, I feel like you're coming back into yourself. Okay, so this is like, I'm coming back into myself. Like, I'm coming back to what is base core. Okay, so maybe I was worried before about, you know, base chakra type stuff. You know, can I pay for this house? Can I pay for this car? You know, the luxury items, this items, that items. But now you're more coming back into something that's more mental, emotional, spiritual. You're like, I don't care about those things. I can rebuild those things. Those things come and go. I could have the best job and the best relationship in the world and lose it tomorrow anyway. Forget it. Who cares about that? One thing people can't take away from me is my pride, my self-esteem, my family, my loved ones, the things that really matter. And you've decided to choose to, really come back into yourself a bit with that. And, as far as the next one being the Eight of Cups, I feel like this is like you're moving away from everything that was tied to that person. So, any of the relationships that were tied to that person, you may have had friends that were mutual friends and you're picking and choosing, were they really your friends or were they their friends first, if they're friends with both of you equally, they need to decide what side they're on kind of situation, or, you don't want to be part of it because you really don't want any more ties with this person. You really don't want any more affiliations with this person. You don't want to have to hang out with your friends and then them show up. You're just done. I really feel like you're just done. You are starting to see things in a way that is much more clear, more hindsight 2020 situation, where you're starting to realize that this person really wasn't good to you, okay? It wasn't just that they weren't good for you. They were really kind of bad to you and toxic and intentional about it. So you're really moving away from anybody and anything that was tied to that person, that relationship, that family, of theirs or mutual types of things, unless they were really your person, because you just know that wasn't good for you. Let's get another clarifier here. Page of Swords. So I feel like, this is just information for you. These are opportunities for you where you can be able to look back and see where you've come from, but take that sword and continue to move forward with it. Okay. These are those opportunities to move forward. And you've had Queen of Swords energy in you all along since jump, right? You just haven't really known how to hone it, how to use it, because you've kind of really been under a control for so long. And I really don't know that you even feel like you know that. So I feel like for a lot of you, this is new to you. So, as the Page of Swords, you're kind of having some information and opportunities come in. You've maybe taken it a little bit slow with how to go forward with them or what to do with them. But, you are going to be enjoying those opportunities to move forward and make decisions for yourself that benefit you and only you. And they are your decisions, not something that somebody made for you, right? And so we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. So this is where you have just let go of all of that stress, okay? That stress, that anxiety, that stuff that used to keep you up at night, that, feeling of just overwhelming tension and nerves and all of those things. Maybe you were like, I got to get out of this relationship because I don't feel like it's right, but I won't be able to make it. I won't be able to make the money. I won't be able to do this or that. How will I pay for bills? How will I do this? Or they had convinced you, which is what a lot of people do that want to keep you in control. They convince you that you would never be able to do better than them. Nobody else would ever want you. You'd never be able to do a thing without them. You'd never be able to, live without them, make it without them, never be able to pay bills without them, all these different things, right? That's what they convince you so you can't leave or are unable to leave. And I feel like this King of Wands came along and gave you that courage, gave you that strength, and really ultimately acted as the catalyst to get you started to where you started to come out and see that there are so many more important things than, as long as you can feed yourself and make it that way, everything else, will fall into place. Things are more important than, just the dollar, and that you can be all right anyway. You have that Ace of Cups energy. You have that Queen of Swords energy. You can make the contacts. You can make the things happen. You can do whatever you want. And you're starting to realize this person was wrong all along. Why were they telling me this? How dare they? And so you're starting to really see what that person was doing to you, the manipulation, see them for what they are, and you're letting go of all of that anxiety now, because now you've got that Page of Swords coming in with opportunities. You're seeing, hey, now I've got opportunities, I've got friends, I've got contacts, I've got people who believe in me, I've got my sanity, I've got my peace, I'm not getting, yelled at, cussed at, screamed at, whatever at every day. Like, I'm living the dream compared to what I was living, and I didn't even know it was that bad. For a lot of you, I feel like that's what's happening. So, for you, I feel like this is like a weight lifted for you, like a whole new you, right? So let's get a final card on this, and then we'll get some clarifiers. Okay. So this is the Nine of Cups in reverse. So I feel like this is something where, again, your family is, it's not you, the focus on family is less important to you right here. Okay. And by family, I don't necessarily mean, siblings, children, that kind of family. I mean like the family you had with that person, that kind of relationship, significant other, marriage, those kinds of things I feel have taken a back seat. They're just a little bit less important. I think by coming through this process, you've started to realize that you are a new person. You're literally starting to see things for what they were. You're starting to see, hey, wait, I was living a really crap life for a while. I had a really bad situation, maybe worse than I really understood. I knew I wasn't happy, but I didn't realize to what extent or why or, certain things. And you're starting to really see these things now that doors are opening for you. You're feeling better. You're letting go of stress. Maybe you can eat normally and sleep normally again. And you're kind of like, wow, all that stress, anxiety, tension was all happening because of that relationship, right? And so you're kind of taking a back seat on focusing on so much on, I've got to have this family unit, this specific family, family unit immediately, and more focused on yourself, I think is what this is about. Okay, that's how I feel about this. That's what my intuition's telling me, is that not that you aren't very family oriented, not that you don't want that down the road, and maybe even fairly soon. And by family, again, like I said, I don't mean that you don't absolutely adore your family. You may be spending tons of time, even more so, because now you're able to be out more and make your own choices. They may have been prohibiting you from spending a lot of time with your sisters, brothers, cousins, nieces, nephews, parents, whatever, because they didn't want them putting any, false hope in your head that you could do better, or, that you have all these gifts to give, So you may even be able to spend more time with those kinds of people. But I think for you, this is specifically referring to, you've kind of stepped away from putting so much focus on, that relationship, and kind of focusing on you and your happiness and those around you that make you happy. And, maybe friends, maybe family, maybe work, maybe, building your career so that you feel like you're kind of independent, because that makes you feel safer. Maybe this King of Wands person, maybe you're just enjoying spending time with them, but, not jumping into anything right yet. It's not something you're looking to do, but you're really enjoying them, and you realize that they are really the ones who kind of gave you that strength to get out. So that could very much be somebody who is really, really good for you in the future, right? But I do feel like you have made such huge gains, shifts, growth. Oh my gosh, growth is just amazing for you in this. And you can actually literally, I think your health is even better here. I'm being 100% honest when I say that. And I am in no way a doctor, okay? But just when you let go of so much stress, when you are in a better place, your body, and you'll know this, right? You know this if this is resonating with you at all, and you have been in this situation or are currently in this situation trying to get out of it, you're like, I'm walking around all the time in pain. I got neck pain, shoulder pain. My stomach is always in knots. I can't hardly sleep at night. Stress takes a phenomenally huge toll on your body, right? And when you come out of stress, you feel like a whole new person. It's like a different a whole different ball game. So when you can start feeling like, hey, I have things to offer. Hey, I have opportunities. Hey, I'm not being screamed at all the time. Hey, I can actually have peace and joy and somebody to spend time with that's fun and, you know, whatever. It's amazing how much better you feel, you know? So anyway, let's go ahead and pull you 3 cards out of the psychic deck, one for each row, kind of give you a little bit more insight if we can on that. And we will go from there. Whoop, we got a jumper. We'll go from there. All right, so we got firm foundation. And I do feel like that is exactly what you're moving towards, okay? By breaking out of this relationship, by kind of starting to harness that Queen of Swords energy and kind of start to realize, hey, wait a minute, I have my own strength, okay? I don't really know what to do with it right now because I haven't used it in a while. I'm kind of out of practice getting to use it, being allowed to use it, or having much need to use it. Everything's kind of been told to me what to do, you know, but now that I have that, and now that I have somebody who believes in me, who's helping me, who wants to help me succeed, who wants to see me actually grow and help me, I am on my way to a better, happier, more firm foundation, okay? Because you may have, you know, labored under the delusion that that relationship was firm foundation, you know, maybe for a long time. You may have been in that relationship for years and years, okay? And you felt like, well, this is a foundation because this is what relationships are supposed to be like. I mean, everybody's must be like this, right? I don't know, you know, everybody puts only the good stuff on social media, but they're all probably like this behind the scenes, right? You know, and meanwhile, no. You know, I mean, yeah, all relationships have problems, but you were in a special, unique situation where, you know, once you get to here, in hindsight, you're like, whoa, I was putting up with way too much, right? Okay, so you may not have known that, but truly you're moving towards a firm foundation by the time you get into the current, the present, where you're able to kind of grow a little bit more. Harmony, okay? And again, this is where you start to really get that Ace of Cups energy, okay? So you're starting to build harmony with yourself and those around you. And I feel like that Ace of Cups energy is particularly apparent with this King of Wands. If you look at the card, it is 2 people that are working harmoniously together. And I do feel like you are doing that, okay? I feel like that person is really helping you to kind of acknowledge how strong you are, how much better you are, how more deserving you are, how, you know, how to grow, how to build yourself up, how to introduce yourself to people to get places as far as, you know, opportunities and, you know, kind of get yourself back on a financial track, those kinds of things. And so I really do feel like this is where you kind of start to come into your harmonious, you know, self with, you know, the help of the King of Wands. And I do feel like you're going to stay in, you know, a close connection with that person. Do I think that, you know, by the end of here, you're married to him? No, like I said, I don't think that's even something that you're looking for by the end of this point, you know, by the end of May or, you know, maybe even June, you know, it may not even be something you want yet because you're kind of still burnt on this. But I do think you are definitely enjoying them and appreciating them and seeing them for the value, especially compared to what you've had. And, you know, you really are having harmonious feelings with them because they are working with you and not against you. And you're starting to see that that's what you had before with somebody who wasn't working with you or for you. They were working against you, truly. Okay. And this one is financial and material changes. And we know that, you know, because we're seeing here that you are starting to get this Page of Swords coming in. And when they do, okay, you start to put your stress away. So we're seeing these opportunities come in and we see that you're putting your stress away. So we know that things are starting to look up for you, right? And it's all kind of coming along here with, you know, the fact that you're getting that harmony and you're getting that exposure to the right people with that Page of Cups or Ace of Cups energy. And honestly, you've got Queen of Pentacles energy in reverse up here because, you're you've got it, but it's upside down. You just need to harness it. And I do believe that you will, going forward. So as those opportunities are coming in, you're going to be making the most of them. You have that Ace of Cups energy. You have that King of Wands fiery hat helping you, believe in yourself and know how to do that. So I do feel like you are definitely going to get financial and material change. I do believe you're definitely going to be moving back towards that positive side. But I do think you will have to take a step back first. Again, like I said here, anytime you have a split, a break, especially if there's like a long-term situation or kids involved or a marriage involved or a divorce situation, anything like that, splitting houses or, businesses or anything, you're talking about financial backstepping. Okay. We know that. We see that here with, the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. I do feel like that person is going to try to also make it as hard on you as they can because that's who they are. Right. So we know that, but we also know that you're stronger than that. You're better than that. And you're constantly moving forward throughout here. You're constantly making connections. You're building your charisma. You're building your strength. You're, getting more opportunities. And, it's all going to pay off in the end. So the best thing you did here, in my mind, is decide that you don't care anymore. Financially, you're like, it'll come eventually. I don't care anymore. Take the damn money. Because guess what? I can always make more money, but I can't make myself mentally whole again. That's a little bit harder, right? So you're kind of like, I'm just going to do me. Okay. And you're right. And that's exactly what you do. Okay. You make the money again, probably even more than you had before. And you do better and you make better contacts and you do it in a lot happier, healthier, and safer way with no stress, right? Or at least a lot less stress. You're not up at night. So let's see what the moon deck has to say to close you out here. All right. But everything I feel like is going to move in a definite positive direction. I do feel like you may have to financially take a step back before you take 2 steps forward, but I definitely see that it's going to be worth it, right? It's totally worth it. Trust me. It's worth, it's kind of like people will say, I'd rather live in a shoebox and be happy with my family, the Little House on the Prairie style, right? I'd rather live in a tiny house with people I love that are kind to me than live in a mansion with somebody who treats me like crap, right? Well, that's kind of the situation. And I think you really come to this knowledge right here, personal knowledge. You feel this way, like, you know what? I don't care. I want to be with people that are good to me, happy to me, fulfill me, fill my cups, my bucket fillers, what have you. And I don't care if I have to live in a tiny, small place and drive a beater car. I don't care. I can always come back from that. But what I can't come back with is emotional scars, right? So let's see what we got here. Alrighty. And we have growth. I love this card, okay? And again, this is you. When you leave this is where your growth begins. The second you leave that relationship, your growth begins. You start bringing out your Queen of Swords energy. You start realizing, okay, I can do this. You just don't know how much you can do it. You just don't know how strong you really are. This King of Wands is really going to help you with that and kind of help you pep talk you, emotionally be there for you and let you know they're going to nurture your growth, fertilize your growth, okay? Nurture your growth. But ultimately, your growth starts the second you leave that person, okay? And attraction. So again, with this, your Ace of Cups attraction here this is you attracting so many people. Your Ace of Cups energy, when you're putting out that high frequency, high power energy, right? That is just so charismatic and so positive vibes, right? You're going to suck those kind of people back in, okay? Those are the people you're going to draw back in to be around you. And that's going to build a whole different type of group around you, situation around you, life around you that is going to be so much more attractive, more enjoyable, happier. And it's going to be what makes you say right here, this is what I want. I just want to move forward with all these people that are good, positive people, and I do not care about anything else, and I'm not ever looking back. And if it means I got to take steps back on finances, then I do, because I can rebuild that, especially when I'm surrounded by good, positive people, right? They'll help me rebuild it, and they will. Okay. Right. And then this last one is nourishment. Okay. And I feel like with this one, this is an absolute. Okay. These cards are all about you getting away, cutting ties with that person and bringing in new opportunities with this page, cutting all of the stress out of your life. All of those are steps to nourishing your future. Every single one of those things is a step to nourishing your soul, nourishing your future, nourishing self-love. Okay? Getting rid of your stress is going to literally, mentally, and physically improve your health. Okay? These opportunities probably financially nourish you. Okay? That are coming in with this Page of Swords. Okay? This leaving of the people behind that are tied to this negativity, I truly believe that's one of the best things, okay? That's like a continuation of this growth over here, but just continuing on with anybody who's negative, right? You're not just cutting off the main supply, you're cutting off all of the other negative vibes that went with it, right? That's nourishing your soul. Every time you remove a negative energy, it allows space for a positive one to come in, right? So I think this is all panning out to, which will of course cause financial and material change in the positive, right? Nourishing yourself. So again, I absolutely think everything is going to move in a positive direction for you, mentally, spiritually, financially, eventually. Okay, that one will take a moment. Socially, everything. Okay, relationship wise, I feel like this guy is going to be girl, guy, gender neutral, depending on what you're looking for. Going to be around for a while. I don't think they're going anywhere. They just may not be what you want to, you might not want to be jumping into wedding gowns and wedding dresses and rings and grooms and all this stuff right away, but I still think they're going to be around, supporting you and your biggest cheerleader. So good to have. But anyway, I hope this does resonate with you. If it does, please do like, subscribe, share, all that other great stuff. Otherwise, I hope to see you back for your weekly energy for next week. Bye.